We're trying to expand globally. Long curly hair and a beard, but he ain't Toby Keith. You might have thought it's beef, but we gon' handle that. Stealing jerseys off of the wall like fuck Vander Jack. Okay, he ran with that, and now he's on the loose. Put a little bit of poison in his Jamba Juice. Go ahead and drink on that, just take another sip. Need an appraisal, shout out to Ron Huff and Dick. The kids loving this, I know you heard it, son. The purpose is perfect, every person we learn something from. Go ahead and come along, we have a little fun. A few questions, how about 31?
And here we go. We're doing a little something special this week. We decided to branch out and take some questions. And well, first of all, let me introduce my co-host or the host today, my good buddy Tone Gordon, who is the key to making all the beautiful stuff you see with the podcast. Tone does all that, and he is my life coach and show booker and motivator and just good buddy. And he came up with this idea that we would take a question from each state and just see what happens. So I loved it when he reached out and sent me the idea. I was like, yeah, let's let him fire away. So here we are. It's happening. Tone, how are you, buddy?
I am doing good. Just got done with a 12-hour day of work, and then I just came home and made the kids dinner, and now we're doing a podcast. So
okay, well, I won't tell you what I did today because
that's dad life.
Yeah, because I did nothing, and I'll feel like more of a lazy piece of shit if I tell you how my day went.
Well,
but
see,
it did have.
You get away. I was gonna say you get away with it though, because you're thinking of things, not your job. So see that.
That's what I tell my girlfriend and my mother. I'm when I'm laying there in bed till noon, I'm working. I'm doing emails and I'm thinking of jokes and stuff. So yeah, I'm excited for this. I don't know how'd you even come up with this idea? Just something you thought of?
Yeah. So everything. So I drive around. I won't say what job I do because my job kind of won't let me. But I drive around all day, and sometimes my brain just goes on, and it just goes and goes. And I think I was listening to one of your podcasts, and I think it was Craigslist Chaos, and you said something, and I can't remember the exact term you used, but then it just immediately kind of popped in my head. It was like, you were like something like, this state's like crazy. We got to go somewhere else and find some crazy. And it was like, I was like, we should just ask people questions. And then the Brandt Does America thought just came into my brain, and I was like, we made it happen.
Now here we are. I love it. I think it'll be fun. We'll take so if you haven't figured out what we're doing, we're taking 50 questions from 50 states. Each state gets a question. At the end, I will tell you which question I like the best and which state is the worst. So there's a lot of pressure on your state. Are we going in alphabetical order?
I'm going to go alphabetical order just so I can keep track, so we hit all the states. But also some states do have more than one question because some of them are really short. Like they're going to be like one word answer.
Okay. So yeah, this is our first time doing this. Hopefully it'll go good. We'll do it again, but I'm excited, and I'm an open book, so we'll see where the hell this goes.
Yeah, and I tried to get everybody's name. Some people didn't want their name, so if you didn't say you didn't want it, you're probably going to get a shout out.
Take your shout out and shut the hell up.
All right, so you just want me to start it off?
I'm ready whenever you are. Fire away. Hold on. We'll play. Let me try to. What's the first state? Alabama.
Alabama, yeah.
Okay, all right. I won't know any after that, but I'm ready. I was like, what is the first state? All right,
I would have never guessed that though. That's pretty good.
I think it's just, I don't know. That's it. It's a lucky guess. All right, Alabama. What do you got for me, Alabama? Fire away.
All right, Alabama from Laura Phillips Paramore. Name the best show you have ever done and why.
Ooh, the best show I've ever done. The best show I've ever done would have to be the first time I did the theater in Cheyenne, Wyoming, where I'm from. There is a theater called the Atlas Theater that's been there, I think, since like the 1880s. It's a very famous historic theater, and it was the first time I had came back. I'd been doing comedy probably 7-8 years, but it was like my first big show in Wyoming. So I did 2 shows that night, and I sold out both shows. And I just remember, so my favorite band's The Killers, and I remember Brandon Flowers, because he's from Vegas at the time I was living in Vegas, and he did a thing where he came out with these red sparkly shoes like Dorothy from Wizard of Oz, and he walked out on stage, and he and he just clicked his shoes together and said, "There's no place like home. There's no place like home." And I thought that was so cool. So my girlfriend at the time bought me these red Adidas shoes, and I walked out on stage, and I did that same thing, and got like a standing ovation just when I walked out. And then I did the show, and the crowd was awesome, and it was cool to look into the crowd and see like all my childhood friends and teachers and coaches and everybody that was important to me growing up. So I did the show, and then it went good, and then they called me back out at the end and gave me a standing ovation. And I remember going backstage and just running over to my girlfriend at the time and just giving her a big hug, and I just started crying. I was just crying, and so it was cool. That one will be hard to beat for me forever, because it's a theater. I used to ride my bike by it every single day, and growing up in Wyoming, I never dreamed of being a comedian. So to have it come full circle and to sell out that theater, that one to me, I mean, I don't know if that one will ever anything will ever beat that. Like, I went and performed for the Troops over Italy, Greece, Turkey. All those were important. I've opened up for huge celebrities and done shows with them, but that first big show in Cheyenne, Wyoming, I don't know if I'll ever beat that one. And it gives me chills right now just thinking about it. So the Atlas Theater in Cheyenne, Wyoming, many years ago.
I say that's pretty cool. I was gonna say probably nothing would top that, because do you think, actually, I have a follow-up question. Do you think that's more special because you didn't start comedy in Wyoming?
Yeah, I mean, it was just special because I didn't start in Wyoming because there was nowhere to start.
Yeah,
there was no shows. So what was special about it is just that everybody back home just kind of jumped on board, and they supported me that whole time. So some of them had seen me before, and that was the first time, and I ended up recording my first album there. But it was just that first time of everybody was so happy for me, just looking out into the crowd of like, they're just like, this is so cool. You chase this dream, and now you're performing for all of us. So just see, like I said, I'm very nostalgic, and I'm very proud of my hometown. So just looking out into the crowd and being like, that's my childhood friend. That's my, so stuff like that is, and just to have a whole city rooting for you coming from a small town, it's been great. I say a lot of times I probably wouldn't have survived as a comedian if I didn't have Wyoming, because the whole state has had my back and supported me everything that I've ever done. So that one, I just don't know if I'll ever be able to beat that one.
I was gonna say you're synonymous with Wyoming. I saw some Wyoming beef jerky sticks today, and I thought of you. Like, I was like,
that's my crew.
also they were gluten free, so I was like,
oh, I got to get some of those.
They should be a sponsor. I forgot the name of them. I'll have to pick that up. But all right, so on to the next one. We're gonna go to Alaska. From Chelsea Shipley.
Chelsea.
She asked, "Would you live here?"
I would. I don't know. I would like to first visit. It's number one on my bucket list now. Actually, is I'd always want to go to Hawaii. My girlfriend took me to Hawaii this year for Valentine's Day, but I've always wanted to go to Alaska because bald eagle is like my favorite thing. Anytime I've seen a bald eagle, it just makes my day. And I watch a lot of these videos when I can't sleep at night. I watch these Alaskan videos of these bald eagles, just where they get all the salmon or something. There's like 50 bald eagles. So and it looks beautiful. So I don't know if I wouldn't want to live there because I don't like the cold. I'm over the cold, but I definitely want to visit there. So I could live there for like a week. So hopefully and I would love to. It's one of the few states I haven't done comedy. So Alaska is very high on my list of vacation and destinations to perform.
Well, you may have not done a comedy show, but you're just toward there right now. So,
all right.
I always wonder if Alaska has the 24-hour sunlight, 24-hour darkness. So I lived in Iceland as a kid, and we had that where it was like for 24 hours, for like months, like where it was just light. It was a weird thing to go to sleep when it was like light outside.
I think they have that in Alaska, don't they?
I think so.
It's like 22 hours.
I was gonna say it's high enough north. I would think so, but
yeah, I watch a lot of Alaska shows that I enjoy, but I don't think I could live there. I'll pass.
Well, alrighty, we're on to the next one. Arizona,
which is a place I have lived a couple times in my life.
This one's a little late, but we're be good. From Cami Pasco.
Cammy, hey girl.
Would you go to a Cinco party tomorrow? I think it's too soon.
Would I go to a Cinco de? Would I have gone to a Cinco de Mayo party?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because we're recording this in the middle of the quarantine.
Yeah.
But we're towards the end, and yes, I would. I mean, it's so as we're recording this. This is I think day 60 of the quarantine, and I'm ready to bust out. So it might not be a good decision, but if you were throwing a party, I definitely would have been there.
Well, I mean,
I love Cinco de Mayo. I love any excuse to day drink, so I would
Cinco de Mayo's
definitely be
awesome.
there. Yeah,
Cinco de Mayo's great.
Yeah.
Did you do anything for Cinco de Mayo?
I did not. I don't think I did. No, I haven't done anything, so I can't remember the day, but I didn't do anything.
I was gonna say we got tacos.
We had tacos. We did the very white taco thing.
Yeah,
my girlfriend
we got tacos
made
from the Mexican place.
Oh, you did? Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
Maybe we did. No, we went to get tacos from the Mexican place in the hood, but then the drive-through wasn't open, and it's sketchy. Like my favorite Mexican places. That's what I learned when I lived in LA. The sketchier the places, the better the food. But we, like idiots, we brought our little dog with us and my girlfriend, and I was like, this does not. I just trust my instincts. My instincts said go to Taco Bell, so we went to Taco Bell, which coincidentally is my girlfriend's favorite restaurant. So I just, keep her happy. Happy wife, happy life.
Right, that works. All right, so we are on to Arkansas, the last of the A states.
Ooh, all right. These A's have been good so far.
A's have been good so far. All right, so this is from his Twitter handle is Stars Suburban.
All right.
Chris in Arkansas with the question. Let's say you have unlimited money for this project. You have to film a 10-episode season of a reality TV show trying to prove/disprove paranormal things, events, creatures, etc. Each episode is a standalone topic. What are they on?
Holy shit. That question's above my pay grade. So I guess if I got the question right, one would be about Bigfoot, one would be about aliens. 10 episodes, isn't there? I don't know enough about it. So I would do 2 episodes, one on Bigfoot, one on aliens. What else would there be? Loch Ness Monster or something? Or
Loch Ness Monster would be a good one. Yeah, I guess do you have a favorite pair? Those are all good ones. Do you have a favorite? I'll adjust the question slightly because we are watching we're watching here. We're slightly behind. I know you're watching The Last Dance.
Mm-hmm.
If you had to make a 10-episode miniseries on one crazy paranormal thing, what would it be?
Yeah,
like it would. Last Dance style,
yeah, it would probably. It would have to be aliens, but I think they've been done. I guess I wish. I don't know. I think I would create I would create my own something. I don't know, because I think the alien ones have all been done by people that are much more qualified than me, and even the Bigfoot ones. So I don't know. Unfortunately, Chris, you know what I'm going to do on this question is I'm going to have you go to Netflix where there's already 100 of these done by much smarter people than me. But I am interested. I want some answers, but I just don't want to do the work to look for them.
Do you believe in aliens?
Yeah, I do. I do. I don't know where they're at, but especially now that it seems like they're getting closer. I believe in something, but and I'm always fascinated by it, but I just don't whenever Rogan or someone has somebody on, I like listening to it, but then I don't know where they're at, I hope I don't see one. Because I think I've seen UFOs, but not I've seen weird shit fly through the sky, but that could have been anything, So it's hard to say. But I don't know. Yeah, you're in Colorado Springs, so you might.
Well, the other day, I think I just posted on Twitter a week ago. I was just walked out to go to work, and I leave kind of early, and just a white thing just went through the sky, and I was like, UFO or a shooting star, one of the two.
Yeah, one time I was walking with 3 of my friends, and we all saw it. we were like 14, but so we didn't. I mean, I guess we couldn't do anything with it anyway. But I'll never forget that. Like, I remember right where I was at and everything, and I was like, "You guys see that?" Everyone's like, "How could you not see that?" And then I think the rest of our walk, we talked about aliens, and then we went and played Nintendo or something. It was that was it.
You were the original Stranger Things.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, the A's were good to us. We got through.
All right, yeah. Thank you, A's. A+.
And all right, so we're gonna move to California.
There is no B's, huh?
No, there's no B's.
California.
Right? California.
Live there too. Here we go.
All right, so I got a couple from here.
Okay.
Just because, and I don't know how deep we'll get in on this answers, but Chance Snell asked, "You still have a rag under your bed?"
Chance Snell, a childhood friend. I do not have a jerk off rag under my bed anymore. But I'll tell you, I got in trouble for not too long ago. My cousin, I used to stay at my cousin's house in Wyoming. This is embarrassing, but I used to stay in this guest room. He had this like shitty bed, and I would just get drunk, and then I would, take snacks down there and eat food and jerk off, and then I would just throw the rags like on the side of the bed, not even really thinking of it. I guess I didn't realize how. I mean, this was over like 6 years. And then one day he moved the bed and he just sent me a picture of all the shit. And he was so fucking mad at me. I got like a lecture. He's my younger cousin, but I got a lecture like, "You're a fucking adult. I was 40. I think he was like, "You're 40 years old. What the fuck is wrong with you?" And I was embarrassed. So now whenever I stay at his house, I keep it clean. But yeah, when I was a kid, I jerked off on this basketball camp shirt, this CSU shirt. I don't know why, but that was my jerk off shirt. And then I have a little brother who's 2 years younger than me, and he would always wear my clothes, and I get so fucking mad at him. And then one day he wore my jerk off shirt to school, and I don't think he ever wore my shirts after that anymore, because I was like, "Dude, that's the shirt I jerk off on." But no, I haven't had no. My girlfriend would kill me. I have no jerk off. I'd put it on my stomach and I'd go take a shower.
All right.
That's a childhood friend. What a dumbass question.
So I wasn't sure how deep we'd get in this. So we have two more from California.
Okay.
We got Robin Dorothy Taylor.
Robin out in Chico. That's my girl.
Yeah, and she's asking, "Do you keep in touch with the guy who took you under his wing in Vegas, and were you part of their family?" And,
what was the second part?
Oh, sorry. There's a typo. So, do you keep in touch with the guy who took you under his wing in Vegas as you were part of their family?
I talked to him a little bit. I just follow him on Facebook. I follow all his stuff and his wife's and his kids, but I saw him a couple years ago. He came to a show, and then we talked afterwards for a while. And then at one point when he said he might be driving through Denver, I was like, let's grab dinner and stuff. So I haven't seen him in a while, but I wish I talked to. That's the only really regret I have in my life. I wish that relationship was better, because he was the most important person I've ever met in my life. He changed my life, and he's still probably the coolest person I've ever met. So to answer the question, I talked to him a little. I talked to him a little bit. I think if I needed him, it's weird. I told him last time I saw him, I go, "If I ever end up in jail, I'll call you," because it's the only phone number I have memorized. I don't have any of my family's, my best friend, my girlfriend, nothing. I just have his, because when I was a runner, I'd have to call his phone every 1,000 times a day. So I told him, if you get a call, I answer it, because I'm in trouble. And I think he would answer it. I think he would still. I think he knows how important it will always be to me. So, but no, I talked to him just barely. But I feel like if I reached out, he would talk back, and it's probably on me. I probably I should probably have handled a lot of things better than I did.
Well, you still got time.
Yeah. I think no matter what, he knows without a doubt that he changed my life. All
right, so we'll move from that nice serious one to one more weird one from California.
These fucking Californians.
at Preston 0501 on Twitter asked, "Oversized clit for your girlfriend or undersized dick for yourself?"
He's seen us both naked. How did he know that? How does he already know that? Did he tap my phone? What would be better?
Yeah,
I have my
like
choice, one or the other.
If you have to have one or the other.
Oh, I have my girlfriend with the oversized clit. For sure. I
Yeah.
think my girlfriend would want it that way too. She wouldn't want me to have this little
right.
Yeah. So yeah, I think she would agree. But let's do the oversized clit, please.
So that's California for you.
California, you weirdos. So sweet and so crazy. On to Delaware, right?
On to Colorado.
Oh shit, we're still in the C's. Never mind.
We still
yeah, where I live.
Oh man. So we got Ian Hull.
Ian.
He's going to ask, if you had the opportunity to invent a new ice cream flavor, what would it be?
Well, that's tough because I feel like they've invented them all. But as basic bitch as this is, it would be like a White Claw one. It would be combining White Claw and ice cream, my two favorite things. So claw cream.
That could be legit. What would be the accent flavor of
black cherry? That's my favorite claw. So claw, as you're drinking them, So I don't know. That's a hard one. I love all ice cream. It's funny during this quarantine. I haven't drank. I've maybe drank 2 days, so I should have lost some weight. But every night I just have dessert instead of. I have dessert instead of alcohol, so I'm a fat piece of shit.
Well, it's got to be. I was gonna say it's got to be hard. Shire's just constantly making food that looks amazing. Jesus.
She came home the other day. She baked these cookies, and now she just makes ice cream sandwiches out of the cookies every night. It's incredible. So she likes it.
She needs to make a cookbook. She'd be like the next I
know. You know what she's working on? I think she might.
Dude, if you don't follow Shire, what is it? Gluten free and sexy?
Yeah, gluten free and sexy on Instagram. Give her a follow. You can see why I keep this beard to hide my fat chin. But she spoils me very, very much.
Oh, so that was the question from Ian. That's the only Colorado question we had.
Well, good. Weirdos.
So we're gonna move to Connecticut. And this one is a two-parter, two different questions. But Deanna Lee Scaife, I'm definitely just
that's close enough.
Scaife.
Scaife.
So that's how that sounds like a disease or something.
Yeah, I've had it. It'll go away. It'll clear up.
She asked, "Who is your favorite Muppet?" And then also, what superpower would you want?
Well, my favorite Muppet. I don't know I'm trying to think of all the Muppets that are. Well, isn't there a Muppet that lives in a trash can? Isn't that Oscar? Or who lives in a trash can?
That's Sesame Street.
Oh yeah, see,
but there's a dirty one is Animal. This is the guy that plays it.
Probably isn't Kermit a Muppet?
Kermit is, yeah. Yep.
Okay, I'll go with Kermit. Even though, as a comedian, over the 15 years I think I've done this, I've seen so many bad Kermit the Frog impressions at comedy shows. So I'll say Kermit because I think that's the only one I really know. And then if I had a superpower, I'd just be invisible.
Invisible.
Yeah.
I was thinking for my son is getting ready to turn 3.
Uh-huh.
He loves the Muppet Babies. I was thinking you might go Fozzie Bear because he's a comedian. He tells jokes.
Fozzie, I would have. I need a kid, so I have better Muppet answers. I answered Kermit because that was the only thing I could think of. Wait, what would your superpower be?
What would my superpower be? I would see. It's so tough because there's so many good ones. Immediately, I was the ability not to sleep.
Oh wow!
Never lose energy. You just 24 hours a day. You could go.
You just be a comedian towards the end of the month when bills are due, and you'll have. It's not a superpower at all. It's the worst.
But I was think about it. If you could have if you could go 24 hours a day, you just never sleep. You could out. I guess you could also be a lazy piece of shit and not do anything. But and then you just have more hours to do nothing.
Yeah.
But
you just feel even worse about yourself when you lay around all day. That's just me, actually. You work hard all day.
So those were good ones from Connecticut. Thank you.
Good job, Connecticut.
Delaware. We have
Delaware.
What is the craziest thing you've ever done?
The craziest thing I've ever done?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh man, the craziest thing I've ever done would be
Oh,
crazy.
you know what? Totally. I just want to change my superpower. My superpower would be when you ask somebody a question to know the first thing that pops in their head because that's their real answer. Like, that would be an interesting superpower. You'd be
No. Craziest thing I've ever done. I'm trying to think, man. That's a hard one. Like, I've done some crazy shit.
You have, yeah.
This one's gonna hit me afterwards, but like the craziest thing I've ever done. Well, the crazy thing I almost did one time was that when I lived in Vegas and the gambling was over, I had no money, and I was gonna. I thought I was gonna break into someone's house. I knew this guy had a bunch of money and jewels and stuff. This like gangster dude, and I bought this book off the internet that would teach you how to like about breaking in houses. It was like a black market book. It wasn't supposed to be out, but this guy told me about this dude that had all these jewelry, like a gangster dude, like from the Philippines. And we knew where, and this guy knew where he lived and everything. And he's like, we break in this house. So I cased this dude's house for like a week. And then we figured out when he was leaving, and I got a bag and I put a hammer in the bag. And I was like, and then my buddy took me there. And then I was like, I'm going to go to his back door, the sliding glass door. And I'm just going to break it with a hammer, then rush in there. Cause he had like like the home security shit, but we knew that shit would take forever, So I was like, I'm just going to break the window with this hammer. I'm going to go in and get all the jewels and find money and everything. And, cause I didn't know I had no money, everything. My life was falling apart. And then, so then I got to the back door, everything happened. The guy dropped me off. He was going to the meeting spot. I was going to run in, fill up this bag. And then I got to the back door. And instead of hitting it with the hammer, I was like, let me just see if this back sliding glass door opens. And I pushed it and it opened. And then the alarm started going off inside the house, which I was anticipating anyway. But then I just got scared. And then I just ran out and I jumped over the wall, and I didn't steal anything. But that was like that was the craziest. Because I cased this guy's house, and he was a guy I probably didn't want to mess with, He was like because he had like big old diamond chains and money. I don't know what his job was, but he probably didn't fill out a W-2 to say the least. So that was probably the craziest, because I cased his house for like a couple weeks, man. I had a getaway plan, and I had all this. So that was crazy. I'm glad I didn't do it, because I've had stuff stolen, and it's just bad, and I'm just in a bad spot in life, and I don't have any like skills as a job. So I don't know why I thought that, but that was probably the craziest, honestly, because it was just it could have changed my whole life. Someone could have caught me and killed me. I'd be in jail. So luckily I didn't go all the way through with it, but that was crazy. And then the dude that put me on it, I never really talked to him after that. I always wonder. It was just a bad time in my life. So luckily I didn't do anything bad. But yeah, that was pretty crazy, I'd say.
That was not the answer I was expecting.
I don't think I ever told anybody that story, because it's embarrassing to say you're going to break into someone's house. So I don't think I've ever told that story. But yeah, it was. I was really like, I remember, and my best friend Justin, because I was casing these other. We lived by these mansions, like just these big money mansions. And then one day I was walking through the neighborhood, and he was driving by, and he saw me. He's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm checking out these houses." He's like, "What?" It was bad. I was just in a bad spot in life. Luckily, it didn't get worse. But yeah, that was crazy when I decided, because I felt like, because what happened is, after I got robbed in my house with a shotgun guy came and robbed me and everything. And then he got probation after he robbed me, could have killed me, got trespassing charges, moving me to a different room. So what happened? That's what it was. After he robbed me, and he was so bad at it, and then even when he got caught, he got like 6 months house arrest. I was like, well, fuck it. I'm just gonna rob people, and then when you're just, well, I shouldn't say, but for me, in my head, when I was broke, I just felt like it was okay to rob rich people like Robin Hood. But luckily, none of it. I never did it. But yeah, that was that was pretty crazy that I actually really. And at another point in my life, we were going to be drug dealers, because I've never done a drug, but I had the hookup. I knew like security at the Hard Rock. So I was like, I'd be the best drug dealer. So we ordered like a scale and everything, and we were getting close to trying to be coke dealers. And then I went for a walk again, and then told myself, man, you're not a drug dealer, you know. So those 2 times they're probably the craziest because they would have changed my life forever. I obviously wouldn't be talking to you right now.
No, it's wild to think back on like times where you're like, man, I was like, that was actually me. I did that.
Yeah, man.
I have some of those too.
Yeah, Vegas brought out some bad. Vegas is a tough place. But yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Well, that was a good question. The sweet Delaware coming through. All right. You'll like this one. Florida. Here we go.
Florida.
From Robert R. Bunch.
My boy.
Who has been your favorite act at CFD? Also, who would you like to see in the future?
That's easy. My favorite's been Garth Brooks, and I want to see Garth Brooks next year, hopefully, because I think Frontier Day is going to get canceled this year for the first time in like 124 years. We're not going to have a Frontier Days, which is heartbreaking for me, just as a fan of Frontier Days, and it's going to crush my city that I love so much. So, but Garth Brooks is the best show I've ever seen. And I met Garth Brooks. I was lucky enough to meet Garth Brooks like 2 years ago. And I wear a Frontier Days belt buckle every day on my jeans. And I showed him and I said, hey, will you please come back to Frontier Days? He said, he didn't say it because of me. I'm sure he was planning it, but he said he would be there for 125, which is next year. So yeah, Garth will always be the best, one of the best shows I've ever seen in my favorite Frontier Day. So hopefully he'll be back next year. We'll see. Garth is
legit. We used to, my wife got us tickets for, cause she loves Garth Brooks. She got us tickets. We saw him at the Pepsi Center when he did like 8 days in a row or something like that.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
I'm actually hoping they'll do that at Frontier Days. I'm like, just have Garth the whole 10 days. Sell out every show, you know? So that was a good one. You know, Post Malone last year was great. I have so many good memories. You know, Chris Ledoux, a Wyoming boy, who when I was young, I got to meet him and get his autograph and stuff. So, but, you know, I've been fortunate enough to see so many great acts. And my buddy, Brian Pedersen, he's one of the sponsors. So each year, you know, we get hooked up right up front and it's great. It's going to be hard. This will be the first, I mean, I'm 42 years old. This will be the first July my whole entire life that the last week of July wasn't all about Frontier Day. So it sucks, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah, that is nuts. Do you
but shout out to Bunch. That's my boy. Move back here, please. Talk about a crazy guy.
Do you have a favorite Garth Brooks song?
My favorite Garth Brooks song is probably I think it's called She's Everything.
Yeah.
And that's like, and you know, so Jimmy Kimmel's little sister, Jill Kimmel, who's a very funny comedian, one of my best friends in the world. That's how I got to meet Garth. So Garth was sitting in with Jimmy for the week. So we went out to see Garth Brooks, and I got to meet him luckily because of Jill. And so, you know, we're backstage at Jimmy Kimmel Live, and Garth's about to do a song, and Jill and Garth's introduced to us, and Jill's like, hey, it's my birthday tomorrow. And Garth is like, oh, really? What song do you want me to play? And Jill said, She's Everything. And Garth didn't even tell his band or anything. He played the song for Jimmy Kimmel Live for the show. And then when the song ended, the band just standing there, and he goes, hey guys, I'm going to do one more song if you don't mind. It's this young lady's birthday. This is her favorite song. And he played it for her. And I just remember bawling. I'm crying. Jill's crying. It was unbelievable. So that one's like my favorite, but there's so many that, like, so much too young to be this damn old. On my 40th birthday, I drove to Fresno by myself, and my friend, I was going to sneak in, and my friend who knew Garth, on my way up, she's like, hey, I got you a ticket. When you get to Fresno, go to this door and text this person or whatever. So I get to Fresno, and I go up, and all these people are waiting to get in. Nobody's even in the arena yet. And I'm walking up. There's a big black lady running security, and she sees me coming from about 50 yards away, like, look at this motherfucker. And I knew we were going to head in for this. And I text the number that my friend told me to text, And when I get to the door, this lady's like, "Hey, what are you trying to go?" And I was like, "They told me to come to this door." The security guard's like, "Who told you? Why are you at this door?" And right then, this girl comes out and she goes, "Are you Brandt?" I said, "Yeah." And she just looks at the security guard and she goes, "He's with Garth." And I was like, "Oh, I'm with Garth." And then I came inside and then she gave me a ticket to be in the front row.
Oh, that's cool.
And the front row is all women.
Yeah.
Garth gives those tickets just to girls. So then, like the first 3 or 4 songs, security guards kept coming over and tapping me on the shoulder, like, "Hey, buddy, you got to go." And then I'd show them my ticket, and they'd be like, "How does he have that ticket? He's not supposed to be here." So I remember just, well, you know what? My favorite Garth song is actually "Beaches of Cheyenne."
No, it makes
because
sense.
but he has so many songs where he says Cheyenne in it. But then I was my 40th birthday, and I was sitting there. Or actually, you know what? It was my 39th birthday. I'm sorry. But it was my 39th birthday, and he was singing. I mean, I could touch his boot right in front of me, and he was singing "Much Too Young to Feel This Damn Old," and I was bawling again. And all these young girls around me are like, "This creepy old dude's just bawling." But it was my birthday, and I was by myself, and I was drunk. So shout out to Catherine for the ultimate Garth hookup, because I never thought I'd be with Garth. And then Jill hooked it up too. So yeah, those ones. I mean, I could talk about. This is how great Garth was. I saw him 7 times that year. I love being a comedian. I think it's the best job in the world. But I remember driving back from Fresno saying I would quit my job as a comedian and just sell merch for Garth if I could just see him perform every night. If I could just watch the show and then sell, I would do that the rest of my life. That's how incredible he is. So yeah, that's the long answer. Sorry.
That's good. That was my secondary question. My favorite's rodeo. I love rodeo.
Rodeo's great, man.
I don't know why. But that song gets me pumped every time.
Yeah, he's the best.
All righties, we'll move to Georgia.
Georgia.
We got Ray Siglin.
What's up, Ray? What's Ray got for us?
And I'm assuming you know Ray from your childhood because he asked, "Do you remember the name of our 6th grade teacher at Deming Miller?"
Deming Miller, yes.
If so, what's his favorite pastime / activity?
You know what? I saw him post this. Mr. Farr was our teacher, and he was the coolest teacher. He was the best, but I don't know what his. I wish I'm gonna have to follow up on that. I don't know what his activity is, but it was Mr. Farr, Rupert Farr, an incredible teacher that I was lucky enough to have, and my little brother, and my little sister, and I think both my cousins. We all went to the same elementary school, so he was a legend in our neighborhood. And then he passed away now, but he's awesome. Who do you got? Some guests?
You got to get a special
guest. Hey, buddy, what's going on? You
Brandt
got a question?
Hey. He said, "Hey, what's up? Who's your favorite Muppet Baby?"
Me.
Me? You're your favorite Muppet Baby?
Yeah.
You're crazy.
Green.
All right, here, go to Lola. Go find her. Dude just walked in. He was like, "What's up?"
Hey, man, who's gonna tell him though? When you're that cute, you do whatever you want. I don't blame him.
For real, kid's crazy. He loves it. Now he can't get out. It's so funny. He opened the door fine, and then he just was like, "I can't get out." This is what you got to look forward to.
Oh, I can't wait. And
then, all right, so that was
Georgia.
That was Georgia. Then we go to Hawaii. This one's gonna get weird. Hawaii's about to get weird.
Okay.
The only question we got from Hawaii was, and I'm gonna pronounce this the best I can.
Okay.
It's from David Murray, and it says, "Ho, bruh, how's it?" Spelled how zit. How good your pigeon?
How good your pigeon?
So how
my pigeon, I don't know. I love David Murray. That's my buddy from my childhood too. But that's like some Hawaii stuff that I just went to Hawaii for the first time, and they just speak a different language. So my pigeon, I'll tell you what wasn't good in Hawaii was my gout. My gout flared up and put a damper on my trip that Shire bought us for my Christmas present. But I don't know what my pigeon is, but my pigeon, it's good, man. I'm good. Life is good, Dave.
Your pigeon's good. All right.
All right.
So that was Hawaii. We had to.
We never know what we're gonna get here.
We had to take what we could get on that one. All right. So we'll move to Idaho, which has surprisingly 3 questions.
Ooh, all right.
One of them's going to be short, I think a shorter one. So we'll start with Vince Gibson. He said, "How do you pronounce Idaho's capital? Only people from Idaho do it right."
I don't. Boise.
Yep,
Is that right?
That is correct. Yeah, that is
Boise.
I think
How do people do it wrong?
I think you pronounced it wrong just now. I think you're not supposed to pronounce it with a Z. I think it's supposed to be with an S.
Boise.
Boise. I don't know. But you said Boise.
There's a big bell outside. If you ever go to Boise, there's a big bell outside the Capitol. And I reached in there and I rang that shit, and it is so loud. Hurt my ears for about 2 hours, but man, boom, Boise.
You know what? I was thinking, the only thing I think of when I think of Boise is a blue football field.
Yeah, that's me too. When we were there, it was too cold to go see it. So, Boise, I'm glad I went once. Is the nicest way.
That might be an answer for later too.
Yeah.
All right. So then we have Brianna Stoneman.
Mm-hmm.
And she wants to know, what is the most embarrassing thing that you had to experience in a public restroom?
Oh, the most embarrassing thing that I've had to experience?
Yeah, experience in a public restroom.
Well, one time, man, because I didn't know I had a gluten allergy for a long time. My stomach was just messed up. But one time we were at the Palms in Vegas when the Palms was the height of Palms Mania. We were up in the club, in the Playboy Club, and something hit me and I just had to shit bad. But those clubs are packed, and I went in to a bathroom, and the bathroom was packed full of people. There's only like 2 stalls. This big black dude's waiting to get in a stall. But I knew I was about to shit my pants. So when a stall opened, I just said, fuck it. And I tried to cut him off and just take the stall. And he grabbed me and pulled me out. And I was like, fuck. Because I think you're just going in there to do coke and shit. I mean, this is like when it was like the biggest club in the country.
Yeah.
And I knew I had to shit. And I was in these tan khakis. And then he came out and I rushed in and I pulled down my pants and I just shit like all over the back wall. Just launched it. And I was like, fuck. So then I had to clean up all this shit, and it was on my ass and everything. And I thought I got it all cleaned up. And then when I came out, I met up with my friends, and then there was like a tennis ball circle of shit, just like on the calf of my khaki pants. And all my friends took pictures, like plugging their nose. I mean, it was just embarrassing. And then because I had to clean that shit up, because, in the bathroom, they have those stupid like towel guys and shit. So when I opened the door, I was like, if I would have just left it, it was just a nightmare. So that was probably the most, I have so many, because my stomach was messed up for so long. I have so many, that's like my embarrassing public restroom. I have so many when I didn't make it. There's been so many times like because when I have to shit, it just hits me. I have to shit in like 45 seconds. And I like to go on walks every day. So there was times when it hit me. And then I'd try to get in a restroom and it'd be locked or something, and then I just have to shit on the street. It's just embarrassing. So yeah, it's embarrassing. But yeah, that would be the worst one. And when I was, because it was a club, it was Rain and Playboy Club. It was the hottest club at the time in all of Vegas. So that was pretty embarrassing.
That's a good one. That's a solid answer. All right.
I'm gross.
We got one more Idaho question.
Idaho, let's do it.
This one is, you can have an unlimited amount of any one thing. What would it be?
Money.
I mean,
money. But that's an easy one. We can keep it moving. I don't even have to explain that.
I was gonna say that's like I'm kind of sad you didn't have your soundboard ready to be like money.
Oh yeah. You know what? Where is that thing? Well, it'll play through here, won't it? Let me see. Will it play? Can you hear it? Yeah. Here's my answer.
Here comes the money.
Yeah.
Here comes the money.
That's my answer.
That's the answer.
That's the easy one.
All right, we'll move on to Illinois.
That's where my grandfather's from.
All righty, and we have one from a friend of the show, Mr. Brian.
Shout out, Brian.
He's our friendly UPS man over here.
Yes.
And he asked if you could put together the ultimate comedy show with some of the top comedians you have worked with, who would be on it and where would the event be held?
What's funny is I saw an incredible show one time. The best show I ever saw, it'd be hard to beat, was in Vegas. They were doing this comedy festival, but the lineup was Louis, Tosh, and Attell. They just like co-head. I can't remember who went first, but I remember that would be that's the best. I mean, I don't know if I could beat that show. For me, if I could do a show, I would do it in Cheyenne, of course, and then I would have like I'd have a tell. I would host, and then I would have and then I would have like Segura middle and a tell headline with like Brody Stevens doing a guest spot that was supposed to be 5 minutes, but it was probably 20. But that would be, and those are three guys I've all been lucky enough to open for. So those are three of my favorites. And yeah, I mean Mitch Hedberg would be. I didn't get to work with Mitch Hedberg, but the show would have been. It would be me, Brody, Attell, and Mitch would probably be. But living, I would do I would just do Attell and Tom. But yeah, those guys would be great. But that time I saw Attell, Tosh, and Louis C.K. was incredible. But I've been so fortunate to see I did a storytelling show here with Ari. It was like me and Ari, Mark Norman, Joe List. I forget who else was on. Sean Patton. I mean, just being at Comedy Works, I'm so spoiled. And in the Vegas days, you never know who would show up. So any of those would be great.
That's crazy. You got to get some. You don't have anything Attell on the Content Factory wall.
You know what I got? I was trying to get this poster of Attell and Hedberg that I'm still working on, but I'm running out of room. I don't have a lot of room. The coolest thing about Attell was when I got to open for Attell at the end of for both shows I opened for him. He bought one of my books and he made me take his $20. And then at the end of his set, he called me out on stage. No, he called me out on stage, bought my book right on stage, made me take the $20, then roasted me. And then he gave it to somebody in the crowd, which was all. I mean, he's just the coolest. And then because of that, I sold all my books. I think I brought like 35 books. I sold every single one of them.
Damn. So that's awesome.
Dave Attell he's the best.
Attell was my first comedy show I ever went to.
He's supposed to be here next month, so we'll see.
I saw him at the Virginia Beach Funny Bone.
Oh, you know what's crazy is he's never done a show in Wyoming, so we had talked about trying to set something up in Wyoming, but that'll have to be next year.
Heck yeah, man! Maybe Frontier Days.
Yeah.
All right, so that was a great question. We have another one from Illinois, which you might have already just answered in one of the previous questions. Graceful Shart asked. Skipped it forward. This one is actually at JFabs7 asked favorite and least favorite city to do stand up in.
These are my favorites right here in Denver. I love this so much. And then my least favorite is a town called Rawlins, Wyoming, where I've had two just awful shows. One show I bombed the worst ever, and the other show this like butch lesbian chick just start fighting this big black dude at the end as I was starting my closer. And then the police came and I had to come off stage and not sell my book. I had to give a police report. So that was Rollins. There were just two awful shows. So, and then a close runner up would be Marco Island. We had to perform at this seafood place for just like 60, 70-year-old white Jewish ladies and men that just, I don't care that they're Jewish. I just have not, they wanted to see like old Jewish humor and I'm not Jewish. So, man, dude, I ate it there bad. So Marco Island, Florida, which a lot of comedians will say is just, I think Sam Morrell says it's also the worst place. So those are pretty easy ones to answer.
I was gonna say Rollins was is that the one you were talking about with the horseshoe on your new podcast?
Oh yeah, that was it. Yeah.
That's why I laughed. I heard about it today. I was listening to it.
Just the worst. They just gave me a mic and said walk around and talk to people.
All right, we got Indiana next.
Indiana.
We got Brett Kolak.
Hey, Brett.
And I just realized, oh no, his name's not Palindrome. Indiana. So, what's your? Oh man, I didn't read this question. But what's your record for masturbating in one day?
You know what? I don't know. I've never kept track, but I would say. It gets lonely on the road, man. Being in Indiana, trust me, I've been in Indiana in like the winter for 5 days. I bet you that Indiana or like Dayton, Ohio, I put on some serious beatings. So probably, I don't know, maybe like 6. No, nothing record breaking, but I'm not a big jerk. I jerk off more out of boredom. I was trying to explain to my girlfriend. I'm like, she's like, do you just jerk off when I leave? I go, I don't really. I jerk off mostly on the road. Just because I get bored. I don't have,
nothing to do.
When you're in a hotel and you get like 12 channels and it's cold out, I'm just like, so yeah, probably most comedians could probably beat me, but I'd say probably maybe 5 actually. Just not that many.
Alrighty, well, we'll move on to one of my good buddies is Flags.
Yes,
at JJ Flagel on Twitter. He asked, "Do you play any instrument, and if not, what's the one you would most like to learn?"
That's easy. I wish I could play piano. I love the piano, and I play nothing. I have no musical talent. I can't dance. I can't sing. Nothing. I have no. I played like everyone played recorded, but I played piano when I was a kid, only for school. So this bus would come. It was called the music bus, and it was full of pianos, and it would pull up to my elementary school like once a week, and then we'd have to go out there and fucking play in our mittens because it was so cold. So I know one song because it's just the numbers. It's like 5 3 5 5 3 5 6 5 4 3 2 3 4 5 1 1 1 1 2 3 4 5 5 2 2 4 3 2 1. Whatever that is. That's like old.
Sounds like ABCs or Old McDonald.
Yeah, something. But I just know the numbers. I memorized that. I have a good memory. But no, I wish I could play piano.
This old man. Is that what it is?
Yeah, This Old Man. I think that's what it is. So
yeah.
I knew that one and another one, but I wish when I was in Vegas, when I had a bunch of money and nothing to do, I looked into piano lessons and guitar lessons, but I suck at it. I have no rhythm. I wish I could play anything, but the answer is I can't.
I would take piano too. I self-taught how to play guitar, and then my daughter takes piano lessons. So,
well, they say if you learn piano first, it makes everything else easier. I think. Yeah, is what someone told me.
It's I think if you learn guitar too, like I can pick on the piano, like I can like figure stuff out, but like I'm definitely not proper technique in any kind of way. All right, so now we are at Graceful Shart.
All right,
is a hot dog a sandwich?
No, a hot dog is a hot dog.
Easy
and
enough.
I have no. I mean, I don't know. I've heard the arguments go on for hours, but we have a million questions, so I'm gonna keep it simple. And a hot dog to me is always a hot dog. And I used to love hot dogs. I don't love them so much. Shire loves hot dogs. Shire had a hot dog the other day from the butcher, like a special hot dog. Oh my God, her breath stunk so bad. I bet she'll never get a hot dog around me again. But I used to love hot dogs because in high school, my parents would give me like $2 for lunch. I'm old. And I'd go to Mini Mart, the convenience store, and then I'd get hot dogs for $3 for $1, but then they had the chili and cheese for the nachos, and we just load up our hot dogs, get a couple Shastas for like 2 quarters and like a Snickers. And I ate hot dogs every day for like 100 days. So now I only eat them if I'm at the baseball stadium.
And now, that's the diet of how you blow up a bathroom.
Yeah, that's right. That's when my insides are useless.
All right, so we're moving on to Iowa. We got
Iowa. Idiots out wandering around.
Yeah, we got Steve and Connie White.
I love Steve and Connie White. I did a show in their town.
Well, this might be a question about that. What is the best venue that you did a show at in our fine state?
There we go.
It's next to a cornfield.
I think their town is called Decorah, Iowa. Decorah, Iowa. They had a hotel. We did a show. It was a lot of fun. But honestly, the best show I ever did in Iowa was we did like a casino right on the border. And it was good because these casino gigs, the crowds, it was whatever. But I'll never forget because we had a nice room, and then they came. We were doing shows in Omaha, I think, and they took us across the border in this beautiful SUV. And then I'll never forget, it was Kobe's last game as a Laker. So we did the show. I ordered a bunch of crab legs. And then we got in this Escalade, and I watched Kobe score 60 points on his last Laker game. So that was actually my best Iowa gig. But the best people and the most fun I had was in, I think it's called Decorah, Iowa. And they took me to some pizza place that they swore by, which I don't want to. Huh?
Was it a Casey's?
I think it was maybe something like a Casey's.
Hey, is it like a gas station?
No. Actually, okay. I know. No, it was their one. It was good. My buddy that lived in Vegas that took me there to do the show, he used to have them flown in.
Okay.
And it was good, but like, I don't want to be a dickhead, but I've had pizza all over the world. Like, it was good Iowa pizza, but I mean, it wasn't like, I mean, I've been to Italy. It was good pizza, but no, they were great to me. And everybody I know from Iowa is great.
That's awesome. I've passed that casino a billion times.
The Hard Rock one?
I used to live in Omaha.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
My dad was
You know.
stationed there, so yeah. So we have family there, so we.
I love Omaha, man. Omaha gets a bad rap. It's one of my favorite songs and one of my favorite cities.
Heck yeah, man.
Counting Crows.
All right. So we got. I guess that's it for Iowa. So
No
we'll
more
move on.
eyes. We're moving along.
Move on to Kansas.
Kansas, beautiful. I have a lot of fun in Kansas.
This will be a fun one for you. We kind of touched on some music earlier, but TJ Scott from Kansas.
EJ.
He wants to know, name the top 5 songs that would be on the Brandt Tobler soundtrack.
That's too hard to do, honestly. But I would say, I'm gonna give you my top 5 bands, and then you could pick a song. My favorite band's the Killers. Love the Killers. I was fortunate enough to, like I talked about a little earlier, become friends with the lead singer. So I've got to see him perform all over the world, and they put on incredible shows. So Killers are my favorite. Counting Crows were always my favorite before I met the Killers, and I still love the Counting Crows. Like I said, Omaha is one of my favorite Counting Crows songs. Garth is number 3 on there. And then I'm trying to think what I listened to there. Number 4 would probably be what I listen to a lot of. Probably Eminem. There's a lot of Eminem I really like. And then number 5, I would go with. I'm trying to think. I don't know, man. That's just a hard question because I love music so much. That's why I've gone to every concert in the world. I'm trying to think. I don't know, man.
So you just leave the last one open because that.
Well, yeah,
what I do.
Yeah, the last. You know what? There's a song. Damn it, what's that song? I don't know. I'm not. It'll take too long. This will be a 7-hour podcast. But yeah, those are Killers, Counting Crows, Eminem, Garth Brooks, and we'll throw in Rage Against the Machine.
That's legit.
Love Rage.
Rage
That's
is great.
Two of the best shows I've ever seen. So
I've never been to a Rage show, but they always look like they're a blast.
Amazing.
All right, so we're off page 1.
All right, that's good. We're almost under an hour. All right,
yeah.
I might have to cut this up in a couple parts.
Kentucky. We're gonna go to Kentucky.
All right.
You kind of sort of answered this question earlier, but Becky Milliner.
Becky, that's my girl.
Yeah, she wanted to know. Now that you've been to Hawaii, where's your next dream vacation?
Yeah, Alaska. It is. I did answer that. So, yeah, Alaska would be there, or yeah, that's it. I mean, I've been. I mean, of course, like there's crazy places like Australia would be the one out of the country, and then Alaska would be.
That's cool.
For those ones.
Australia seems like it'd be a long flight.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not into. I'm a bit of a whiny old man already. We'll do Alaska. That might be it. Hawaii was a little long for me, so Alaska would be the one, no, for sure.
All righty. So that one was a little easy because we already touched on it. Louisiana, we got Coffee Shop Sage at Coffee Shop Sage.
Okay.
Wants to know, will we live long enough to see cannabis legal in all 50 states?
Yeah. If you make it like 4 years, I think you will.
I mean,
I don't smoke, but I hope everybody in my life. Yeah. I think it's dumb that it's not. So I would be shocked if, especially coming out of this to help the economy. I mean, it just prints money. So I think we'll see gambling and weed legal within the next 2 years everywhere.
See, I was looking into gambling just became legal in Colorado.
Yeah. But that's going to do way more damage than drugs, but that's a story for another time.
I've heard you talk on other podcasts about it, and I think you're right on that. But it's I was going to say I was looking into Colorado's taxation of marijuana, and they actually pay for the DARE program with the tax fund, which I find hilarious. But
it's just printing money, man. I think cannabis to be legal. I'd be shocked if by 2022 it's not legal everywhere. And if your state doesn't do it, you're an idiot. You're costing yourself so much money.
So much money. All right, so we're gonna move to Maine.
Maine. I've never been to Maine. I'd like to go to Maine.
We got Josh Norton.
Hey, Josh.
And Josh wants to know. This is actually a pretty good one. All right, imagine your Ice Cube writing "It Was a Good Day." Mm-hmm. What things get mentioned for Brandt Tobler aside from being the rightful heir to the Toblerone candy fortune?
I wish that'd be good. Well, it's funny that I think about this pretty much every day because obsessed with winning the lottery because I think I'm gonna do it. So every other day or two I walk to get my Mega Million tickets because it's up to like 270 million. I think I'm gonna win this tomorrow. But it's simple, man. I mean, I'm a simple dude. I would, as like corny it is, I love to help people out. Not like charity. I would buy stuff for friends. Like I like to give gifts, cool gifts. So my best day would just be giving people that I love like cool shit, and then eating good, and then going to Comedy Works, probably being with my friends and comedians. And it would just be like if I ever made it like famous, I would do, my dream day would be like to perform, but then perform and then have an after party. Or I'd do a pre-party with everybody super close to me, a huge dinner where everybody could just order whatever they want and do that, and then have an after party. And if I could just perform and be around all the people I love and pay for everything, that'd be a pretty sweet day for me. And then watch the sports or go to a concert, or like it'd be too hard, but it is really just being around. Like one time I went to a Seahawks game, and then after the game I got to go to a dinner with Russell Wilson in this private room, and Russell Wilson invited like 50 people, and I thought it was so I thought he had like the perfect day because he played incredible. They won the game. Then we all went to the most expensive steakhouse, and they shut off the back room for him. And we were all in our football gear. He came in this incredible suit, and then he walks right through the front of the restaurant, gets a standing ovation from everybody that just came from the game, all the richest people. Then we go back into this private room, and he comes in, and he's Sierra's not there, so he puts Sierra on speakerphone on FaceTime, and she says hi to everybody in the room. There's like 40 people. It's like his close friends, his family, and then like the head of Alaska Airlines, a couple bigwigs, right? And then I thought he handled this so smoothly. He's like, guys, thank you so much for coming, being my guest. Obviously, order whatever you want. If you want a picture with me, let's just do it right before we eat. Come up, I'll get a picture on my phone, get a picture on your phone, and then let's just hang out and have a good time. I thought he handled it so perfectly. And then and I tried to stick him with even though he was the coolest dude, because it was right after the Seahawks beat the Broncos in the Super Bowl. So I was like, I'm ordering the most expensive steak. It wasn't even, they probably comped the shit for him, but I thought he handled it so well. So then he bought everybody's food, and we all had a good time. And then at the end, he stood by, when he was ready to go, then he stood by the door, and then everyone kind of knew. So everybody walked out and told him thank you and said bye to him, and he gave everybody like hugs. And I was like, that is a fucking awesome day where he crushed the game, and then he was surrounded by people that he loved and liked, and then me. I was just a bystander there. But so something like that, I really thought the way Russell Wilson handled that was awesome.
That's pretty good. To piggyback on that, so if you won like an astronomical amount of money. By the way, also, am I dumb? Because my wife thinks I'm stupid. The only time I think of playing the Mega Millions is when it's in triple digits. Because I think, like you think, I'm gonna win it at some point in my life, and I'm not wasting it on 12 million.
Yeah, it's embarrassing that when it's 40 million, I'm like, I want. That's only like 16 million cash. Now that it's like, I think 290, and then I think you walk with like 220. That shit's spent. Me and Shire talk about it all the time. I'm like, I'll put it away. I'll do the responsible thing, and then I get like half of it. That's just Brandt does whatever. If Brandt wants to tip his waitress 20,000, I can do whatever I want with it. But I think about it way too much. But yeah, I'm with you. It's got to be triple digits.
See, I think I'm gonna win, so I'm just like, I'm not gonna waste it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I hope one of us does, dude. If I do, you will have a very good day.
Vice versa, man. I'm hooking you up too.
Yeah.
Would you ever think if you had that much money buying doing a comedy club?
No, I would buy. No, I would just. Well, maybe I'd be like a silent. I would maybe own it, and then I don't know. I would. What I would buy is in my hometown. I would buy a big sports arena for the kids and name it after my grandparents. My grandparents are Harl and Flo Petty, so I would call it the Petty. I think about it all the time, either Petty Palace or Petty Center. But they have one, I guess, in Windsor that so it'd have a pool and all the stuff for kids. I would do it just for my town, and then I put a penthouse in the top of it, like they have at the Pepsi Center.
That's
so
cool.
When I went to town, I'd have a penthouse. Then I'd have the pool and the rock wall, the basketball courts, all that. But I would do that for my city, and then I'm not thought about buying a comedy club, but it's just a lot of work. I just want to be a comedian.
Well, that's a good answer. I like the penthouse in the.
Oh yeah, it'd be sweet.
That's dope. All right, so we're on to Maryland.
Maryland. That's where my Ronnie Huffendick's from.
We got at Kitty Litter 37 from the Kitty Litter podcast.
Yes.
And she said, can you and Ryan Sickler do a Baltimore, Maryland weekend together in 2021? And he said, but seriously, where would you risk going to right now on a plane?
Baltimore to do a show. If you see right behind me, there's my Ryan Sickler poster. The last time I opened for him, I would love to do a show with Ryan in Boston, but he doesn't need me. Hometowns are always where you make your money, and that's I don't bring people with me to Cheyenne because that's his. He shouldn't bring me, and he never will. But I'd go anywhere with Ryan Sickler. That's my boy. But I'll get to Baltimore soon. I want to. I've been watching The Wire again. I got to get back to Baltimore.
That's why you shouldn't go.
Oh yeah.
Yikes! Have you ever been to the stadium in Baltimore?
No, it's up there. I got to go to Fenway and Camden. That's 1-2 right now.
Nice.
I've been in Fenway and had beers in the bar out in the outfield, but I don't count it unless there's a game. So Fenway's number 1, and then Camden's probably the Cowboy Stadium's number 2. But I'm gonna get to Baltimore for sure.
I've been to Camden. It was pretty good. I saw Matt Wieder's debut. He was supposed to be really good for them, and it turned out not to be. So it was a big deal.
Yeah.
All right, so then we're on to Massachusetts.
Massachusetts, you massholes.
And we're gonna have a question from a Massachusetts named Matt O'Malley.
Matt O'Malley, right on brand.
Right on brand. He says, "What's best, delicious creamy New England clam chowder, or that red swill from Manhattan?" I'm guessing.
Oh, that's easy. That's easy. New England clam chowder for me. I can't eat it that much anymore because I think it's got gluten in it, but I do love some clam chowder now.
Dude, my wife loves clam chowder. She's
so good. So good. That and lobster bisque I'll eat all day.
All right. So we got another one also from Massachusetts. Cooper Carlton at Coop Carlton of the Cooped Up podcast asked, what was the weirdest thing that happened to you in high school?
The weirdest thing that, I don't know. I was a good kid and I just really was focused on sports. So the worst thing that happened to me was, I know what it is. Actually, I was going to say I got mono at the start of my senior year basketball season, which sucked. But the worst thing that happened to me is I finally got laid. My childhood girlfriend, my high school sweetheart, we dated for a long time, and we finally started having sex. And then one day, her mom and everybody was going to the movies, and she didn't go. And they somehow, we were having sex, and they walked in on me having sex. So that was her mom, her older sister, her little brother, and then her older sister's nephew, which would be her nephew, her older sister's son, who was 2, who was my best friend. So he comes in, and the mom's screaming, the little kid's like, "Hey, Brandt, I have to get dressed." So that was the worst. That was the worst thing that happened to me. I was a late bloomer. Another bad thing happened is I guess this was in 9th grade, but I'd never kissed a girl, and all my friends are like, "Have you ever kissed a girl?" And I told them that I kissed this girl named Jacqueline Lucero, who was the girl I had a crush on in elementary school. And then they went and asked her, and she's like, "I never kissed Brandt." So that was pretty embarrassing. But no, I had a good. I mean, my high school is some of the. I mean, I never missed a day of high school. I loved high school.
Well, I mean, those aren't terrible. I mean, we've all had something sort of. I mean,
nothing really bad. I really had a great. I was very lucky to have great high school days.
All righty, so we are on to Michigan.
Michigan.
All right, so we got, what is your favorite Michigan beer? Asked by Annie Graham. Do you know any Michigan beers, and do you like them?
Keystone Light. Coors Light. I don't know. I remember doing shows in Grand Rapids, and they're like the craft beer capital. And I had a bunch of good beers, but I don't remember what they're called. I had this one beer that tastes like Fruity Pebbles I always liked. I can't drink them anymore because of the gluten, so I don't. Unfortunately, my favorite beer in any state is White Claw now. There's a couple of places that have gluten-free beers, but no, I'm sorry, Annie. I don't. I'm sure you gave me some good beer back the times I was in Michigan, but I can't remember what they were. But they were good.
All right, we got one more from Michigan. It's most hilarious childhood memory you can think of.
The most hilarious childhood memory is that's a hard one, man. The one that sticks out that I always remember is my little brother and I. There was like one big room in our basement. My stepdad built like this partition wall between our rooms so we could have some privacy. And I remember one time my brother had this little maroon like tape deck, and we were listening to Jerky Boys, and you could hear it through the wall. And I just remember we just laughed so hard. And then another time when I was a kid, before my stepdad came in, it was just me and my mom and my brother. For some reason, I always remember this pizza parlor we were at. We were eating pizza, drinking Mountain Dew. And me and my brother got the giggles, and we couldn't stop laughing. And I was like probably 7 and 5. So for those two, they stand out as just two really random just moments between me and my brother that we just laughed so hard. Nothing like, I was funny. I was supposed to class clown junior high and high school, but I never did anything crazy like pranks or anything. I'm trying to think. That would be it. Those are two that just pop in my head, is just laughing with my little brother.
Those are always good ones. I have a bunch with my brother like that are.
Yeah, that's awesome.
My favorite. I was gonna say my favorite one is like just how we would annoy my dad was in the military, so he'd just go out to sea sometimes. He'd just be gone, and my mom would get so stressed out, and me and my brother would just go at it sometimes. He would just say something to me, and we just fight. And then he put my head through a glass window, like he got me by the neck, and he slammed my head through a window, broke the window. And my mom's like yelling at us. She's like, "Oh my God, like you fucking like just freaking out." She's like chain smoking on the couch now. Like she's like, these kids are gonna kill me. And then like 15 minutes later, me and my brother were playing like Coach K's basketball on Sega. And my mom's like rocking back and forth on the couch, like what the?
Yeah, that's how I was. How much older are you than your brother?
I'm younger. I'm the youngest.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, so it's just me and him. So I'm 2 years, 9 months younger.
Yeah, so that's how me and my brother's 2 years younger than me. So we had our battles up and down, but then we had some fun times for sure.
It's funny how brothers can do that. It's just like you can hate each other and then just like you're back just in it. Like like that. So Michigan came through with some good ones. All right. Minnesota. And we only got one question from Minnesota, so we had to go with it. Nick Hoberg said, "Do you think the Minnesota Vikings or Timberwolves will ever win a championship in their sport?"
No. We can go to the next question. Moving on. But thanks for trying.
All right. We got Mississippi. We got DJ Jones.
DJ.
And DJ wants to know, you're on the road, just got to a hotel a few hours before showtime. What's the perfect pre-show meal?
Whatever's free, usually. Whatever the club will give us, unfortunately. I'd say the best one was in Jacksonville. We would do these comedy zones at a Ramada, but they had like a seafood buffet. So even though the shows were pretty shitty, I would just clobber all these crab legs. I love crab legs, are my favorite. So that was my favorite part of going to Jacksonville's. Even though the club was all right and the shows we had fun there, but I would eat all the crab legs I could, and then hope my gout doesn't flare up. But yeah, crab legs are always the perfect meal before anything. So that's the one I think of. I usually eat after shows though.
I was gonna say, what I've always wanted to ask you, and I've never thought about until just now. Well, I mean, I've thought about it, but like I never really had a good opportunity. When did you realize you have gout?
Oh, I don't know. It was probably
or did you just power through it? You're like, why does this hurt? And then you
didn't
realize
it just
flared
up. It flared up in my big toe in the beginning, and then I think that first time it flares up, you don't know what it is.
Yeah. So
then I eventually told someone, "Hey, man, this hurts," and they're like, "Oh, you probably have gout." And then I did all the research, and then
you're like,
"You don't know what it is." So many people, you either know what it is or you don't. Like, when my people I talk to, they're like, "What is it?" Or they're like, "Oh my God, you got that." So I think it was Vegas. It was a combination of a lot of liquor, and I think the first time I got it was at Brad Garrett's comedy club. Shout out to Brad Garrett, but he in his green room, he has just all these different drawers full of candy, probably 50 drawers full of candy, and then an open bar. So I was just drinking and eating all this candy. And I think sugar is what makes my gout flare up, and pastrami.
Yeah.
My favorite sandwich place in Vegas is a place called Capriati's. So I was eating the buffets full of seafood. So I just remember being there and having like, people were like, I was limping. I didn't know why I was limping. And then I was like, I don't know, my big toe hurts. And then someone's like, you got gout. Then I researched it and looked at my foot, and I was like, yeah, I got gout, and it sucks.
the one time WebMD is actually correct.
Yeah. Well, it told me a lot of other things I was scared of, but then eventually the doctor told me it was gout.
Yeah. All right. Well, Mississippi came in
That was a good
clutch
one.
there. Missouri, we got. This is going to be a good one. From @CraigScott34 on Twitter.
Yeah, what's up, buddy?
If you were a NASCAR driver, who would your sponsor be?
Ooh, let's see. Well, it could be any of the stuff I've said tonight that I love. White Claw, Cherry Coke, any kind of ice cream.
Crab legs.
Crab legs. Yeah, probably the crab leg car. Any of those I'd be good with. And I'm Surf Wyoming, probably it would be Surf Wyoming, probably, which is a clothing company I'm wearing it right now. Well, I'm always wearing it, but they would definitely be my sponsor because they're my sponsor right now. So if you see me, I'm either in a comedy club merch or another comedian's merch or Surf Wyoming. So I would definitely have my Surf Wyoming car.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, the good thing about being a NASCAR driver is what you get like. 50,000 different stickers.
Yeah.
You got, man, little dude just came back in with a vengeance.
He's got the balloon. He's on
balloons. He's might have to toss him like a bouncer out this place.
Oh.
He's just going crazy. All right, so that's a good one. Yeah. I mean, Surf Wyoming is always.
Yeah, they're good. They've been so good to me, so I got to roll with them.
And then you got Montana.
Montana.
And this one is obviously from someone you know, I'm assuming, @MT_NARPOW.
Okay.
Asks, why did you poop in Flathead Lake?
Chipotle. Chipotle is the short answer, but it goes back to everything we talked about. I was at a bachelor party and we were out on the boat. I had Chipotle, and then, like I said, it just kicks in, and I was swimming out in the lake, and I just had to shit, and I shit. It's a long story we won't go into on here. I shit in the lake, and it caused a lot of problems. So I'll never do it again. I'll tell you that. Which is crazy because, like I said, I was with a bachelor party. People were puking in the lake. No one said anything.
What? People were puking in the lake?
Yeah, because everyone was drunk. We were on the boat. We were all hungover. Like it just was happens. But everyone's fine with puke. But for some reason, when I shit, I'll hear about that the rest of my life.
Well, that's funny. I'm gonna take an intermission and toss old boy out the He's okay. This kid's spoiled. He has a Jeep that's sitting in my office. It's like a little kid Jeep, and he's just turning on, revving it.
I could hear him. I was like, "What's going on? Is there a NASCAR race there?"
That's what I'm saying. He's got a NASCAR sponsor. So we're gonna take a brief 2-second intermission and get him out of here.
All right, perfect.
That's not what?
I want a
Pat. It's Brandt. Say hi to Brandt. Say hi, Brandt.
Hey, buddy. I wish I was Pat. You thought I was Pat McAfee.
All right, here.
If I was Pat
Go
McAfee,
find Lola.
we'd be doing much better.
Hey,
Shout
Lola,
out to Pat McAfee.
come get, dude. Back from intermission. And now I can hear you. All right, dude. Kids, man, they're like a ball of energy.
I can't wait.
Dude, he gets buck wild sometimes. He was like, came downstairs, he like jumps on stuff, like jumped on the hood of this like Jeep. And then like, I was like, hey, go upstairs to your sister. And like, there's no light on upstairs. And he was like, I'm scared. I'm like, you were just on the hood of a Jeep. What are you doing?
Fearless. That's a good sign already.
Kids are crazy. All right. So we got pooping in Flathead Lake out of the way.
Yes. Montana. That was a good one. Now what do we got?
We got Nebraska. Nebraska, yeah.
Oh, Nebraska. I've spent some time in Nebraska.
All right. So we got looks like 2 questions from Nebraska. We got Stephanie Creech.
Stephanie.
And she says, name 3 well-known foods / drinks that originated in Nebraska.
Big Red, the soda.
Did that originate in Nebraska?
I don't know. I'm just
Dude, Big Red's legit though. I love
Big Red soda, corn, and Band 311. That's all I got for you.
311 was my first concert.
Yeah.
Where in Omaha? Yeah.
Yeah. See, I know my Nebraska, but that's all I know. Cornhuskers, Big Red, 311.
All right. Well, and then we have a second question from Nebraska, which is, this is probably going to be a good one. Have you ever been thrown out or banned from a public place, and why?
Oh, everywhere. I've been thrown out of Trying to think if there's any in Nebraska that I could. I've been thrown out. I'm probably in trouble in Nebraska because I have a speeding ticket that I got like a month ago. But then the quarantine, I can't go to court, and so I'm probably technically kicked out of Nebraska right now. But no, I haven't been kicked out of anything in a while. I think the last thing I've been kicked out of, but yeah, I've been kicked out of. I'm pretty not worried about getting kicked out of places.
Dude, that was a wild story, that Nebraska ticket.
Yeah, that guy's a dick. But yeah, I'm trying to think if I got kicked out of Denver. No, I'm good now. My girlfriend gets really mad when I act like a douche, so I'm trying to do good. But I've been kicked out of probably 15 casinos and 30 bars and every poker room in Vegas. I used to be a douche. I'm still a douche, but I got it under control, I think.
Well, that's a solid answer.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've been kicked out of some sporting events too.
Yeah. Whenever I try to sneak in, they kick me out, but I just go to a different gate. So.
Oh man. So technically, you've probably been kicked out of the same sporting event multiple times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is a feat onto itself. I mean.
Yeah, the in out.
All right, so now we're moving on to Nevada. Ever heard of that?
Vegas, Nevada, been there.
Dude, the only question we got from Nevada was from Todd Ayers.
Todd, all right.
What do you ask? What's a dick for?
What's a dick for?
Yeah.
That's Nevada. I mean, I don't know, to pee and make kids, I guess. I've only done one of them, but so far for me, it's just to pee and catch a few STDs. That's it. In Nevada.
So that's Nevada for you.
There's Nevada. Yeah, we can move on to Nevada. Thank God I left there.
New Hampshire. Here we go.
Hampshire. All right.
From @Golsey on Twitter. What's up with chicks who have too many teeth? Are they hot? Are they mutants? And what's up with an improper tooth to gum ratio? Can we work with that?
Yeah. I mean, I'm with you. That's all. That is all bad, and I'm sorry. And you need to see my friend Becky in Kentucky to fix your mouth. But yeah, best thing I ever did was get these fake teeth. So if you have bad teeth, too many teeth to gums, go to your dentist. Go to the right dentist. Spend the money. I will never regret fixing my teeth. And I'm with you on men and women. It sucks because I had bad teeth. So yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry, New Hampshire, but I hope you have good teeth. And if you don't, go buy some.
I mean, that was an in-depth question.
Yeah. I don't know.
I had to
better than Nevada's, I guess.
That's right. I mean,
the ends have been all over the place. And what do we got left? New Mexico, North Dakota,
New Jersey.
Oh, New Jersey. All right, Jersey. Let's see what you got.
Brianna Meek asks,
okay.
What is your favorite true crime podcast?
Oh, whatever Todd's is. What's Todd's called?
It's 1041.
1041. Shout out to my boy Todd.
That is a great. I got kids just everywhere.
Oh, it's all right.
What's up, kid? This is dad life. Hey, Rhino, get out of here with the car. Kids just loves his car.
I don't
never plays with the car other than when I'm doing something. So all right. So 1041 is great.
I don't listen to any of the other ones. I know they're super popular, but I watch all my true crime on TV. I'm a First 48 guy.
Yeah.
I've been watching this new show called Accused on A&E, but yeah, shout out to Todd at 1041. That's our answer.
Why are true crime podcasts so popular?
I don't know, man. It's crazy because these comedians that have the biggest one in the world, I forget what it's called. I don't know if it's the biggest, but it was big for a while. I remember when they started.
Is it My Favorite Murder?
Yeah, no, it's these two dudes out of Phoenix. I forget what it's called, but I remember when they started it. I was like, yeah, good luck with that. And now and then they sold out like a theater on the block I live in here in Denver.
For real?
Yeah.
He's about to murder all of us, bro.
That was my reaction when I was like, these fucking guys sold out the theater down the block. But no, good for them. They're two good dudes. But I can't believe how much true crime blew up. So maybe
there's some other weird ones that like I think they're in like the Well, because Comedy Works puts on a lot of podcasts, right?
They sell. Well, I guess Serial would be a true crime one. I liked Serial when it first
yeah.
came out.
Serial's good, yeah.
Yeah, I have a funny sticker on my computer that says I listened to podcasts before Serial.
Dude,
I always liked.
Yeah, I mean, podcasts have been around for a long time.
Yeah,
and then a lot of people just started jumping on them.
But I mean, Serial blew them up, so Serial helped us all. So I'm not mad at them.
Right? What's good for? What does they say? Rising tide helps all boats, or something like that.
Like that.
Something inspirational for them. All right,
Pinterest.
So we got dude. There's a lot of N states, by the way.
Oh, we do. All right.
Yeah, New Mexico's next.
New Mexico.
Taylor Morin wants to know what's in your nightstand.
I don't have a night. Good question. I don't have a nightstand right by. I just have a table right on my side of the bed, and there's the 2 remotes, my phone charger, like the first card that Shire gave me, and then Shire has a little light up thing that shoots out stuff for the room or something, but it's out, so I don't know. But that's it. And then on the other side in Shire's, there's the biggest sex toys you've ever seen. That's it. I don't have any on my side of the bed. It's pretty boring. I've never had a nightstand, or what you say, in your nightstand?
Yeah, in your nightstand. Yeah.
I've never had a nightstand like drawer in my whole entire life. I mean, my bed before Shire was just on the floor.
That's how
I've had a bed on the floor. This is embarrassing for the last, before I moved in with Shire, I had a bed on the floor, which most girls say is a deal breaker, but I did just fine. Don't believe that. I had a bed on the floor for 10 years, I'd say. All 8 years in LA, my bed was on the floor. It's embarrassing.
I wonder sometimes, like, if I told people just random facts about myself, if they would think I was a serial killer. Because from the time I was in 3rd grade to the time I was in 9th grade, I slept on the ground.
Yeah, that's crazy. Why?
Because I had a small bedroom. Because I'm the youngest, so I always got the smallest bedroom. And I was like, you know what you don't need in a bedroom? A bed.
Holy shit.
So I literally rolled up a blanket and had a pillow and then just stick it in the closet at night, pulled it out. Boom.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's one of the craziest shit I've ever heard in my entire life.
See, yeah.
What did your family say?
They didn't care.
Yes, I guess I'd be like, it's your bed. You made your bed, lie in it. That bed, lie in it.
My mom was too busy chain smoking on the couch, freaking out about me and my brother beating the hell out of each other.
Yeah, and sleeping on the floor. She knew you were crazy.
Yeah, so, and I'm like the sane one in my family.
Yeah. And
like my extended family, I should say.
Uh-oh. Did I lose you? Your mom shut us down.
Brandt Tobler trying to expand globally. Long curly hair and a beard, but he ain't Toby Keith. You might have thought it's beef, but we gon' handle that. Stealing jerseys off of the wall like fuck Jack. Okay, he ran with that, and now he's on the loose. Put a little bit of poison in his Jamba Juice. Go ahead and drink on that, just take another sip. Need an appraisal? Shout out to Ron Huffin' Dick. The kids loving this. I know you heard it, son. The purpose is perfect. Every person we learn something from. Go ahead and come along. We have a little fun. A few questions. How about 31?